What's up everyone, welcome to today's video, welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So it appears that Warner Brothers has somehow confirmed that the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League photo is actually true. Their inadvertent confirmation was done by copyright strikes, DCMA takedowns, and so on and so forth. In fact, I'm not even using any gameplay footage in this video so as not to open myself up to any kind of these shenanigans, because already a copyright strike was levied on my channel, and apparently I'm just looking and laughing because these people actually think some creators actually care about this stuff. YouTube is a hobby, so maybe this copyright strike means anything from their end, but on my end, doesn't mean jack. So what I want to talk about today is exactly some of the much more important aspects of why this image actually is here. Because to me, these whole debacles and so on and so forth, battle pass and all, yes, they are of valid concern depending on who's expressing them. But there's a deeper issue that I think we might be missing out on, which is why in the world we even have this particular specific photo of all the specific particular photos that you could have. Why do we have this one? And so we're going to dive in. So in this particular photo, there's an allusion to a battle pass. There's an allusion to a chapter segment, allusion to the multiplayer, capabilities. But it seems to me that this was actually leaked intentionally, and whomever the party was that leaked it wanted a specific effect. So let's try to see if we can maybe hypothesize, and these are just hypotheses, as to why this particular image is here. Hypothetical scenario number one is possibly maybe Warner themselves were like, man, we don't know how the battle pass thing and how the live game service thing is going to go. So my tinfoil hat on, why don't we leak it, let it get out there in January, before Hogwarts Legacy. Let's not cause too much problem. Let's kind of let the people kind of swell and burst with their, reactions. And then by the time May is getting here, the reality would have sunk in. To me, that's an ingenious way of doing things. If I was actually, the PR guy, I'd probably come up with such a devious plan just to get things to flow as well. Right? But I don't know if a lot of these are things that you can actually take, to be reality. So I'm taking my tinfoil hat off and probably saying maybe someone in QA or a developer or somebody who's working with the project, intended that this picture have an effect of showing these systems that are a deviation from the legacy that a lot of the Rocksteady games have actually set in place. This is a more likely scenario, in my opinion. I think if you kind of consider it, you're going to find yourself in a situation where, there probably was somebody who wanted everyone to see this and wanted everybody to basically be aware of what it was that they were working on. And most likely, whomever wanted everybody to see this did not want to, basically bear all of the, weight alone of having to work on a game that they felt was just a waste of their time. When there are projects that they probably had touched, conceived, or even tried to work on that probably got pushed to the back burner for this project to be alive, that would have probably served fans better. And I think that's where the deeper issues lie with this entire gap that we have. We already have a rift between gamers and developers. We have a rift between publishers and gamers and developers. It's like nobody cares about the nuance anymore. And all of this ruckus and the divide is a conducive environment for these corporations to continue to do what they want. I think everybody needs to kind of take a deep breath and look very carefully at the situation and kind of think through it and realize that there are layers of issues that seem to be going on and have been going on within this company with its entertainment IPs. Think about how Rocksteady had been rumored to be making other games. Think about how they had actually implanted all kinds of different, I would say Easter eggs as to what it was their future projects will be. Think about Warner Brothers Montreal having a Damian Wayne game canceled that was going to follow the Arkham games. Think about them having their own Suicide Squad game canceled that was going to also maybe, give a different perspective of anti-heroes from a small studio at that time. And then having them revert to making a Bat Family game that seemed to have wanted to maybe be some live service game that didn't become a live service game. Think about how CNN Plus got shot up from the ground. They basically started that whole project spending $350 million and then only for it to die within a few days. You see that these decisions may not necessarily have been sound. I think it's time for a lot of these boards to start to really dig into exactly how this particular area works. You see, the old way of doing things and the simple way of doing things are gone. That era is already gone. When you could get 50 devs, 60 devs to make a game that took only 10 hours, in terms of playthrough, everybody was excited. The PlayStation 3 era and, the PS2 era and all that time, that's all gone. This is a whole different time where you might want to hire somebody that is really in tune with gamers to start making gamer-based decisions, not just because we want to bypass the developers, but because we understand that if the gamers are satisfied, the developers are going to eat. It'll be sad if we get to the point where devs cannot eat. We're already there in some studios. I'm very sad. I saw the news today that some individuals from some studios are getting laid off. Why are they getting laid off? Because profitability is not enough for these corporations. That's basically what it is. And profitability only comes from the pockets of the gamers. So I appeal to the developers, in a sense, to be patient with, a lot of the petulance that they see on the internet. A lot of people channel their anger towards developers, and that is, in my opinion, kind of infantile. But try to kind of wade through and listen to some of us that are here that are trying to add some level of, nuance to this conversation, that we kind of are trying to see what's going on. And I think the glimmers are pointing towards it. The person who released this photo is, in my opinion, is crying for help. I think that's what it is. To me, it feels like a Last of Us Part 2 type leak. Does anybody have that vibe? I just feel like this was let's just get this stuff out so that the gamers can see exactly what this is. And then even if it doesn't feel that way, you have to also go with another aspect where Stefan Hill and Jamie Walker are supposedly leaving the studio, or have left the studio, and are not necessarily going to be championing the work that they've done in regard to this niche. The problem is not $70 and Battle Pass. It's much deeper than that. And these so-called strikes and copyright takedowns, they are just evidence for me to start to now analyze a lot more. So we're going to dig in. This is going to be a lot of fun. I love doing this stuff. So let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.